What is up everyone, it's CMG here. So here we are with another Star Rail diary entry, and I figured it'd be a nice idea to show off my build for Cerydra and who I'm using her with at the moment, and perhaps maybe a few updates on how I've been doing with the endgame modes, because Memory of Chaos got refreshed recently and I've been having a go with some of the nodes on that. So yeah, it's probably a good time to do this video because we're coming to the end of 3.5 now. There's actually a new endgame mode being added with the 3.6 update called Anomaly Arbitration, which will prove to be an extremely challenging mode for hardcore Star Rail players. Actually, if I'm correct in saying, if you can achieve maximum stars across all other endgame modes, that's Memory of Chaos, Apocalyptic Shadow, and Pure Fiction, this mode will be available. That's how tough some of the enemies are going to be there. I think I've actually achieved maximum stars in all three endgame modes at some point in time, but not at the same time, if you catch my drift. Anyway, let's go ahead and see how my Cerydra is holding up on my account. Oh, by the way, if you like this idea for content, do be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It is completely free to do, and it helps me out a huge ton. Thank you so much for all the people that have done it already. I highly appreciate you. Okay, I still don't know how to structure these Star Rail videos. I tend to go off at a tangent with my explanations, I'll admit that, but I'll try to do my best. This game is secondary to Overwatch 2 after all. Anyway, let's go to my characters. Let's go and have a look at my Cerydra right here. Now, if I'm correct in saying, of all of the experiences that I've been trying to level up and reading up all the guides and stuff, you need to base Cerydra on her attack, her speed somewhat, and crit damage. So I've been trying my best to get some of these stats up with the relics specifically. I've not been having a great time with trying to get good relics. Well, as with most people usually do, because it's the most difficult thing to do, is when you go into the domains and you try to farm for relics, you want to get the perfect stats for characters that need those said stats. It's hard, isn't it? Anyway, so my attack on my Cerydra is 3,640, speed is 142, and crit damage, arguably my hardest stat to get any kind of stats in, is crit damage. Now the light cone is from the event, so the restaurant event. If you complete that, you get this light cone and all of the super imposition levels. I can never say that name properly, that word properly. Yeah, so if you get to Super Imposition 5 with this light cone, you get an increase in attack by 32%. That's the reason why I kind of want to use this, because I want to literally max out the attack as much as I can. Now, the traces, everything is leveled up except for the ultimate. Well, it's not the ultimate. Yeah, it is the ultimate. The reason being is I'm struggling to get some of these tracks of destiny. I mean, even not just with Cerydra, even with other characters as well. Most of them, I think, yeah, Silver Wolf as well, they're all on 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 because I don't have enough tracks of destiny. I'm sort of like struggling to find some at the moment. So yeah, once I get a tracks of destiny, probably even next week, because I think the all of the endgame, the weekly endgame stuff, like Divergent Universe, they tend to refresh and they give you a Tracks of Destiny every week. So I might have to wait until then to level that up. But anyway, yeah. Other than that, her traces are pretty much maxed out. Now, the relics. Let's have a look at the relics actually, because I've got some issues. Well, maybe some issues, who knows. Although, this headpiece has got 10 speed on it, but not very much crit damage or attack. So I'm just basically keeping this. Anyway. And then we have on this handpiece, we have attack percentage and crit damage, which I believe rolled into at least once. There you go. Yeah, some of these rolls have been absolutely horrendous, but at least if I roll into... It usually is a silver lining if I'm able to roll into the preferred substats at least once. That's good enough for me, unless I get a better piece. Now this one, of course, has less attack, but as you can see there's actual speed on there. Now this, I believe this body piece I've got attack as the main stat. I think that's ideal. Yeah. So you need attack for the main stat, which is what I've got there. Oops, hold on. Yeah, so attack. There's no speed, but I've got 12.3 crit damage on it. So there you go. And then you have on the foot piece, you have speed. Right, you kind of like need a little bit of speed. That's right. So it's either speed or attack, depending on what you need. Like if you have like speed, why am I keep backing out? If you've got speed across all of your other relics, you could probably get away with the foot piece being attack main stat. But right now for me, like I do have, right, I don't really have that much speed. No, I've only got, I don't have speed in the body piece or the rope, or the hand piece. So I'm just having to rely on this foot piece being the speed just to, you know, bring the speed up a bit. Now obviously the 4-piece, by the way, is Sacerdos, and then you have the ball and rope being Lushaka. Because, well, I mean, usually, I don't really usually have Cerydra as the number 1 in the team. I usually have somebody like Herta, because I don't have Phainon or Anaxa. If you do have those two characters, then yeah, Cerydra is definitely going to be somebody you want to use. But the closest I have is Herta. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, I do have Lushaka because it boosts the attack damage on the first character in the lineup. So that's the reason why I've got this one. Honestly, it's been really, really difficult to get good pieces for this set. But yeah, the ball, we have attack as the main stat, 2 speed, but the crit damage is quite high. Look at that, 23.9 on that ball. The rope has attack, and crit damage is 16.8, but no speed. See, speed is a real toughie for me because I can't really get any kind of speed on these stats. Well, that's the reason why I've got this headpiece. This is why this is so valuable, is because it's got 10 speed on that. Whereas everything else just literally doesn't have anything, you know. That's what the reason I've got the speed stat here. If I'm able to get speed across all these other relics, then maybe I might get away with this being attack. But yeah, like I said, I think with Cerydra, you kind of like need to have the speed up to about, I don't know, 140, 150 perhaps. Kind of depends on who you're running, really. I don't know. I just try to get the best stats and everything and just hope for the best. I can do sort of stat managing a little bit later, once I get a bit better at the game. Anyway, right, so I guess that's my build. I don't have any Eidolons, obviously. She's at C0 or E0. So yeah, what team do I use with Cerydra? Let's have a quick look. So this is the usual team I have. I have the Herta in the first slot. So with Lushaka on, I tend to I have the opportunity to boost the Herta's attack. Now, if you have Phainon or if you have Anaxa, you would probably usually put these two in this slot. But the closest I've got is the Herta at E0. Usually, people say, well, you kind of like need the Herta at E1 because of the stacks, right? If you look at Herta's Eidolons, you tend to see, I think there's something to do with her stacks or something. I'm not sure. I'm not very good at explaining it, but whatever. Star Rail is a secondary game on the channel, guys. Alright, so what about the other characters over here? I've got Sparkle and Linkshah here, but I can easily maybe even go with somebody like Robin. I could probably stick her in there as well. And also Hyacinth. Where's Hyacinth? I don't know. I just pick any kind of character that I can put in here. That are relatively flexible enough, or whatever could be used to complete content, I guess. But yeah, this is what I tend to do. I tend to sort of like switch out these two. Yeah, so either Sparkle, maybe even Bronya. I don't know. Like usually Bronya. I've got Bronya and her light cone, perhaps. This seems like a little mono wind team we got going on here. But yeah, no. Honestly, I just feel like it's kind of hit or miss with Cerydra. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. The reason I got Cerydra is because I really liked her design, and she looked very similar to Farina, who is my favorite character in Genshin. So that's technically the reason why I didn't really want to miss out on her. So yeah, that's technically the reason why I just pulled for her, really. It doesn't really matter if I don't have Phainon or Anaxa. You just pick whoever you want to... You just pull for whoever you like, basically. I'm not going to let people tell you... I don't really go for meta, I just go with whoever I like, really. Alright, so what's happening with the endgame? Let's talk about that for a bit. So, if I go, let's go to Interastral Guide. Let's see where we're going here. Yeah, so... Divergent Universe, I've literally maxed that out to level 80 now. Takes you a while to get there. There's 3 days left until that either refreshes or there's an extension on the actual game mode itself. But yeah, right now, Divergent Universe is completely maxed out. Pure Fiction is still the game mode that I can complete fully. So that's 12 stars out of 12 for there. Apocalyptic Shadow, there's 8 days left to go on it. I haven't even approached this after a while. I think the last time I did this was when I did that video a long time ago. Now, yeah, I guess I have done floor 12, actually. I tell a lie. Actually, let's go have a look at what's going on here. Let's see what teams I've used. Right, so again, like I said, I don't have full stars on this. I've only got 35. But these are the teams I used. I used a dot team for the first node, and then I used Cerydra. Okay, I used Jade on this. It's been a while since I did this, actually. So I used Herta and Cerydra, and then Jade, and then Hyacinth. Actually, I can't actually remember. I might have actually cleared this pretty well. It's the first node I think I've got the problem with, because who's on the actual... Oh yeah, that's right, the Black Tide's champion, I remember that now. The Black Tide champion, because of the massive HP pool, he tends to hold me up quite a lot, because I don't have... Well, obviously, because I'm using the Herta, or so I'm using Dot. Despite that, because of the massive HP pool, I tend to struggle a lot. So even though I've got Acheron, High Sealans, Kafka, and Lingshar, I tend to sort of struggle a little bit. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, this is literally the best... Arguably, this is the best team that I can actually construct that can handle some of the weaknesses that are required here. I don't have an Anaxa, so I can't really replace the Herta. Or, mind you, I think... Mind you, if I go this section here, I think Phainon would be pretty good here. Yeah, because you've got wind weaknesses here. You could probably put Phainon and or Anaxa to, you know, imply some of the weaknesses, and then just use Cerydra to boost his attack. Put military merit on him. Yeah. But right here, I'm just basically just using my dot team and struggling so hard. It's crazy. But yeah, that's basically what it is on Memory of Chaos. It's... You know me with friggin' Memory of Chaos. I can complete pretty much everything. It's just that 1 star I can't get. It's a real shame that I can't get full stars on it. But whatever, it's fine, I guess. I just go with whatever is usable at the time. Well, I pulled for Cerydra because... Whatever. I like the character, I guess. Now, I'm going to end the video with any kind of plans of what I want to get for certain characters. Now, Evernight, I believe, is coming out in 3.6. Let's have a look at my stash. I've only got 21,000 Stellar Jades. I did lose the 50-50 trying to pull for Cerydra. I did end up getting E1 Sealer. So, yeah, it's not like I can just, you know, throw a whole load of Jades around and just get a character at the moment. I'm in a bit of a dilemma, really. I could perhaps go for Evernight and hopefully add a really good member of the team to Castris. Because usually with Castris, I tend to believe that Tribby is an extremely good Harmony character to use in a team like this with Castris, Hyacinth, and the Trailblazer, or if there's anybody else you've got you can use. But yeah, Tribby, if you put Tribby in this team, she'll improve the team. But there's also Evernight coming, and yeah, she's going to improve everybody's crit damage when she shows up. So I don't know, like honestly the obvious choice would probably go, let's go for Evernight and see, or let's try and pull for Evernight and see if I get lucky. But then the problem is, there's also Cyrene coming out very, very soon. So I'm not sure if I've got enough jades to go for both of them. I'm not sure. Because I guess you could say I've got like 21,000 stellar jades and a dream. Because I spent so much trying to get High Ceilings and Kafka and Cerydra. All three of them. And I've still got 21,000 jades still left to go. So it's not, like I said, it's not like I could just be confident enough to go and get one character and then perhaps try and get the other one that I want. You know, I've got to be very, very careful about who I go for now, because it's not like I'm in control of my jade situation. So in my situation, it's probably either Evernight or you just save up and go for Cyrene. I'm not really sure what to do. So yeah, that's my situation. I would love to be able to get Evernight to improve my Castress team. I could definitely put Castress alongside Evernight and the Remembrance Trailblazer and I was about to say Hyacinth. Hyacinth. And then just sort of like crack out some endgame, see how I do. But man, it's either Evernight or Cyrene, to be honest. I'm not really sure what I want. Oh yeah, also as well, we get Preservation done hung for free as well. So that's a nice thing. We get a free Preservation character. So that's all good. Anyway, that's me rambling on. Sorry about the massive waffling and stuttering and all that nonsense. I'm not very good at these Star Rail videos. They tend to be waffling more than anything else. But at the end of the day, I can get away with it because, you know, Honkai Star Rail is not my main game. Overwatch is. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Thank you. If you like this idea for content and you want to see more in the future, go ahead and click on the subscribe button. Send a comment, like the video, and then turn on your notifications. It really does help me out a great deal. You can also check me out on all of my other social medias. My Twitter account, my Discord, and of course my TikTok. Let's not forget as well my Instagram, my Threads, and my Blue Sky. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Have a great life. Be nice to your fellow gamers because we're all human beings. I've been CMG as always. Until the next video, I shall see you later. Peace!